Hey explorers, it's Jessica, and today on Exploring the Local Life, I was going to share with you some of our favorite boondocking locations. So if you are thinking about boondocking, this is a place to start. So before I begin, I wanted to give you kind of a breakdown of what this video will be like. Yes, it's going to be all of our favorite boondocking sites, but I wanted to clarify. Some of these boondocking spots might be a little bit more in campgrounds that just have no hookups. Other ones might be what you technically, almost everybody thinks of with dispersed camping, being out in the middle of nowhere type of boondocking. And then we're going to be talking about places that you can just overnight, just wherever on your trip. So let's get started. So the first place I'm going to mention is actually in Florida. It is Bayside Campground, also known as Escribano Point Wildlife Management Area, and also known as Grassy Point. I know, right? Lots of different names for the same location, and you might find this as you do your research. Now, this place has 12 sites. There is absolutely zero hookup. It is completely free, but you must register ahead of time with the Florida Wildlife Fishing and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission website. Okay, you'll go there, you'll tell them how long you're staying and register all your stuff, but you don't have to pay. Now, this place has nothing. It is just 12 sites, porta potty. There is no water or anything. You have to come with all of that ahead of time. It is, though, on the water, so there are plenty of opportunities for swimming. You can get out on the water in your kayak or your boat or whatever you may have, and there's also plenty of opportunities for hiking in the area and for seeing wildlife. So definitely a very beautiful and fun spot indeed. All right, next up on the list is in Tennessee. This is another setup campground. It actually has paved sites and everything, and this is Meriwether Lewis National Monument Campground. It is a first come first serve free site, and at your actual campsite there will be absolutely no hookups whatsoever, but they do have 2 water spigots on either side of the camping locations, and there you can fill up your fresh water, or if you have jugs, if you run out of water in your freshwater tank, you can just use those. No electricity or anything like that. They do, however, have actual bathrooms, like a building with electricity, heat, running water, and they are absolutely clean. So you don't have to worry about filling up your black tank, or if you're just not comfortable using your RV bathroom all the time, you can go there. However, there are no showers, so you're going to have to do some, white baths, skip them, or very quick, douse yourself water, soap up, and rinse it off type of showers. Now, there are only 32 sites here, and it is first come, first serve, but we have not had any issues in finding sites when we have been, and we have been more than once. Now, once you are there, you can go hiking. There's a little Swan Creek where you can go to either just enjoy the water, or you can go and get your feet wet and cool off. There's a few activities to do, but it is just a really beautiful place to stay. And of course, it is a historic site, so you can learn about the trip that Meriwether Lewis took and, learn a little bit about our history. All right, so let's head north a little bit. Let's head to Maine. The East Coast, of course, is not generally known for boondocking. It is a very populated area, and this isn't your traditional boondocking place. The reason I'm including it is because it's amazing, and each site is just a site to camp, like to park your rig. There is no water, hookup, electric, or anything like that at your site. This is Aroostook State Park. It is way the heck up north Maine. It is a year-round state park, so you can go there whether you want to go swimming or fishing, boating. You can go snowshoe boarding. Yeah, sorry, snowshoe boarding? I haven't been, so correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, you can do winter activities there and camp as well. And of course, there's hiking. It is an absolute beautiful place. And I'm including it because we had a great time there, and there are absolutely no hookups at your site. Close to where a lot of the people do their camping, there are some pit toilets. There are a few places where you can fill up water jugs, things like that. They do have a very impressive bathhouse, and this is complete with single stalls, not like single stalls like you walk in a big room and there's a bunch of stalls. I mean, The whole building has doors on the outside, and each one is a private bathroom and shower, so that way you don't have to worry about your safety. They all lock. It is very secure, very new, very clean. They also have a open or covered yet open area where you can do your dishes and have communal meals and things like that, so you don't have to worry about doing them at your RV maybe, or for those people, some people go there just tent camping. They can have their meals there and not have to worry about cleaning up dishes or tables or any of those things. So it is a really beautiful place to go. I think it's very unique, and it's only $25 a night, which is kind of a state park pricing, but in Maine, if you've been, it's a little bit more expensive than that. So this is definitely a good opportunity to save a few dollars, go somewhere beautiful, and practice those boondocking skills. Okay, now let's get into some real traditional, boondocking out in the middle of nowhere, where you're going to be out in wilderness and it's just like you, wilderness, and nothing else, okay? First state we're going to hit is Colorado. Now we've been twice to this location and really absolutely loved it. It is Shavano Wildlife Area. It is in Salida, Colorado, and this is dispersed camping. You go up a mountain, you drive around, you find a spot that's suitable for what your needs are and what your interests are, and set up camp there. There's absolutely nothing. You're not going to find a porta potty, water, any signs of electricity, really civilization up there. And also, even the road leading up to the area where you can camp is pretty bumpy, and it is not paved. So this is like a true boondocker's dream. Once you get up there, you can go biking, you can go hiking, plenty of opportunities to spot wildlife, and of course you can just stand outside your rig, on top of your rig, whatever, and look everywhere to see the Rocky Mountains, beautiful snow-capped mountains. I mean, it is just gorgeous and very peaceful. We have been, and it is amazing. And if you need additional activities, you're not that far from the historic downtown in Salida, along the Arkansas River, where there's food, eating, there's a park, there's all kinds of activities to do down there. It's a little bit more civilized if that's your speed. And there's a Walmart just down the street for all those other emergencies that you might need. Okay, next up on the list, another boondocking site, and this is in Arizona. Now this is just outside of the Grand Canyon, so that way you don't have to go necessarily into the park or into their campgrounds if you don't want to, or sometimes those are filled up and this ends up being a little bit of an overflow area. It's the Kaibab, I don't know if I'm saying it right, forest, okay? And we specifically say it on one of their fire roads. I gotta look at it real quick. It's 688, okay, and this is located on the south rim. And this again is dispersed camping. You go along an unpaved road, and you just find a spot that will fit your rig and where you think you would like to park. Again, you've got some great opportunities for biking, hiking, and wildlife viewing. It's you and the woods, and you're really close to the Grand Canyon, so it's not like you're have nothing to do while you're there if that's one of your concerns. But again, there's absolutely no hookups there. There's nowhere to refill your water. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. There's none of those things except whatever you bring and have in your RV, so you have to be prepared before you go to have all of those supplies. And it's free and doesn't require any type of registration. It's a first come, first serve. So check it out if you're going to be going towards the Grand Canyon. Now what about if you were just trying to get from point A to point B, you don't really want to stay at a campground overnight or maybe even for a few nights. Where do you find, what do you do? Should we stay at these types of places or should we go somewhere else? For me personally, the places that I listed, for me, I would want to stay a few more days to discover and, have a good time. And some of them are, a destination in and of themselves. If you're trying to get somewhere else, one of our favorite places to actually stop just for the overnight is a Cracker Barrel. I know that might sound kind of, what? But they are very RV friendly, and you can stay there overnight, and then in the morning, guess what? You get a wonderful hot breakfast. You can use their bathroom facilities, and then get on your way. We do that often, and we have found that it's a family favorite. Everybody gets their favorite breakfast. We have full tummies and we're ready to go. And yeah, it doesn't end up being free because we spend that money at the Cracker Barrel, but hey, they have a pretty budget-friendly menu and it's really enjoyable and safe. And if you're not really looking for something like that, if you still want to do something that's a little bit, not associated with a business, you might want to try some Boondockers Welcome locations. This is a membership site, but it's not very expensive, and you end up staying on private property. It's a really great opportunity to maybe stay places you might not have thought of before. A lot of them are short term, so it's like a night or two. You can get to know some of the locals and have kind of an intro to boondocking experience, because it's a very safe space. There's someone close by that's your point of contact if you need assistance, and we have found it to be very enjoyable. It's actually what we used a lot when we were on the East Coast and we didn't stay at a campground. We were looking for some more off-grid and budget-friendly places to stay. Boondockers Welcome helped us out so many times, so you might want to check them out. Now, almost everything that I listed here, whether it was a dispersed camping, boondocking thing that I listed, or a campground that had no hookups and was free, I found almost every single one of them on freecampsites.net. It is an excellent resource. It has information throughout the United States about where you can stay that's off-grid, that's free, and you can filter it to find out like if you can stay there with a large RV or if it's only 10 campers only, because sometimes that happens. You can find out information on how long you can stay, if you need to have some sort of permits, or if you need to register before you go. It'll give you an idea of how many campsites, all these things, terrain going up. It is all member provided or user provided, so you're not going to get information from somebody who hasn't been there. These are people who have been there that have liked it or not liked it. And they also include information regarding cellular service. This could be useful in cases of emergency, or if you, like me, my cat came to visit, you, like me or many other full-time RVers or RVers that are working age, have to work while you're still adventuring. So that way you will know ahead of time whether this is going to be a good place if you have to work, or if you have to travel into town to get your job done, or if you're just having an off-grid adventure, it may not matter. But definitely check some of these out. Do your research before you go. But the most important thing is to adventure. Try it out. It might be something that you really enjoy. I hope that this information really helped you out, that it might give you a starting point on some places that we have been, succeeded in, and enjoyed boondocking wise. So if you have your own to add, or if you've been there and have a different experience, please share them below in the comments, and I will catch you next time. Oh, before I go, I wanted to remind you to check out the Road Life Project.
Welcome to the Road Life.
This is an amazing RV community. It's for all ages, everybody that's thinking about doing this thing or that's already on the road, whether you're a family or whatever. Check them out. They have group health insurance. There's going to be a lot of support for families, and of course there's going to be events. There's going to be a lot of adventure, and there's going to be a lot of support for you as you run into issues, run into problems. There's going to be people there like me and Robert and others that are also expert RVers that can help you out. So the Road Life Project, let them know Exploring the Local Life sent you, and we will see you there. Bye.